De Bruyne's corner. Holland! Goal! It's Mo Salah! It's Mo Salah! Absolutely sensational!
And we're live. Welcome back for another deadline stream. Good morning, everybody. How are we today? It's Gameweek 15. We're back already. Hevoris says, I got this on. I got the Ashes on. I'm not sure which is more worrying at the moment, the Ashes or the FPL deadline. I would say the FPL deadline is definitely the priority there. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me for another deadline stream. I've got the free hit active. Last chip for the first half of the season for me, and then I'm all out. Anyone else got a chip active? Anyone else got any chips left even? Or are you guys all out as well? So yeah, this is where I'm currently at with the free hit draft. Basically, there's a couple of players that have like gone up in price that I might want depending on if there's any leaks. So I've had to basically leave those in. And I'll have to just leave it on this transfers page. And then I'll basically confirm transfers later in the stream. Jamie's on a free hit as well. I am 3 says, yep, free hit for me this week. Bench boost next week as well. Nice, yeah, I like that. I think 16 works quite well for the bench boost. Because you've obviously got the 5 free transfers. I think I'm going to end up spending like 3 straight away, you know. I was looking at something like Mateta to Gw, maybe Semenyo to Foden, and then Trafford to Timber. Something like that. Anyway, welcome all to the stream. We've got Sasquatch here, we've got Slot Bull, we've got Dr. Realistic, Migs, Callagher's here, Joel's here, Bradley's here, Top here, Amy's here, Kalon, I'm 3, Ian Janenga, we've got Owen, we've got Taken Latis, Music, Kiwi is here. Big shout out as well to Alfie, who's watching right now. He's just turned 8 recently, and last season, Alfie finished 50k. Like, there's no way I would do that well at FPL when I was 7 or 8 years old. So, yeah, shout out to Alfie. Maybe one day the next big FPL channel will be FPL Alfie. Keep an eye out. Good morning, Turge, as well. Welcome to the stream. Nat Dewan, how are we? Super chat from Jeffrey. He says, hey, Oscar, it's 4 a.m. in Toronto. He says, Enzo to Minte, what are your thoughts? Also, using all 5 transfers next week, you're getting Bruno, Foden, Gw, Alderete, O'Reilly. Yeah, I quite like Enzo to Minte. Yeah, the thing is, when Palmer's back, how does that affect Enzo? I still think Enzo will be solid, but will he... I mean, it's not like he's been consistently delivering anyway, but I was going to say, will he, like, regress a bit? So, I think Enzo to Minte is nice, especially with the entry point this week, home to West Ham. I'd say the one player, or maybe the 2 players that I'd love to have in the free hit, but I just can't find room, is Voltamada and Minte. So yeah, I like that move. I think that's solid. All 5 transfers next week. So do you have to buy like you and Alderete to fund all those moves? Is that what you're saying? Obviously, it's not ideal if you spend all 5 as soon as you got them. Like, I want to try and get to a position where I've got like 3 at least banked, but I don't know if that's going to happen. How we doing, Tottenham Army? Glenn Dude, welcome to the stream, Jeffrey. Yeah, okay, fair enough. So that's how you fund it. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up spending 3, you know, despite what I've just said. So I'd like to try and get back up to like 3+ rolled, just because of the flexibility it gives you. Like earlier this season, I had 5 transfers at one point for quite a while. What's the most transfers you guys have had this season? Has anyone else made it up to 5? Rozar says bench 1 out of Senesi, Richards and Anderson. I would bench Senesi against Chelsea. Yeah, Senesi back from suspension this week, but obviously he's got Chelsea, so I would be benching Senesi out of those. Okay, so some others did make it up to 5. A few 3s. The most you had is 2. I think last season the most I had was 2 or 3, in fairness. Last season I just kept spending them. I couldn't find a way to roll. I guess you can always find a way to roll, but I just kept spending them last season. But this season I've been a bit more conservative with them. Until recently, in fairness. Recently I've just not stopped spending them. But yeah, as soon as this deadline passes, we're all topped up to 5 free transfers. That's the first time in FPL history they've done something like this. Might be the last as well, given there's been some pushback on it. Where do you guys stand with the 5 free transfers? Let's poll it. Do you like the 5 free transfers top up? Yes. On the one hand, it punishes those that are good planners. And FPL is a game of planning, so there is that. That it kind of like levels the playing field a bit. But on the other hand, like, it's a game and transfers are fun. And it does open up the opportunities as well to make good transfers that maybe some casual players might overlook. I don't know. You can make a case for and against it, but give your honest thoughts on the poll and let's see if you liked it or not. I think it's going to be a lot more even than how it felt at the start of the season when everyone was like, game's gone. But yeah, ultimately, it's a hard one to gauge because FPL is a game of planning, as I say, and I think if it wasn't a thing, it might have given those an edge that were good planners. Gakpo on a free hit. Yeah, so the midfield is really tricky on the free hit, Liam, because I've got... Like, Saka had the rest. He does have Villa away. I kind of want double Man United mid because they're playing Wolves. Foden, I've got to have Foden. Back-to-back braces. And then Gordon. I think Gordon starts this one. He scored the penalty off the bench last match. He's on pens. He's got Burnley home. So it's, do you go Gordon or do you go Voltamada? I think that's quite close, and I think Voltamada probably comes off a bit early. And on a 1-week punt, like Voltamada's a better FPL asset longer term, don't get me wrong. But on a 1-week punt, when Gordon potentially comes into the 11, he's on pens, he's got Burnley home, I think he's a really interesting option on the free hit. So he's in for me. And then it's like, where do you triple up on Newcastle then? Do you go double defence or do you go Voltamada and 1 defender? Yeah, Bruno G as well. Like, I'd love to have Bruno G. There's so many good Newcastle assets, and I've gone mad, honestly, over the last 24 hours weighing up the Newcastle defence. Like, Hull, I think, is the best one. I think Hull's the best Newcastle defender if he starts. But there was this quote that just worried me a little bit. Hal was asked about how well he's done, and he said, yeah, I think he's done really, really well. I think the only problem for Lewis is late in games when he started to fatigue. He said like he started these games well, second half he started to get knackered, and then he went on to say, so I think he can be really pleased, but we have to navigate this next period well because we want him to remain on the pitch, and to do what we're gonna and to do that we're gonna have to be careful with him because we've got so many games and he's so important. So yeah, after reading that I was like, maybe I won't, maybe I'll just go for Livramento and Chow, but they all have like merits. Nimbler says, hi Oscar in chat, how to stay positive and keep playing when after 14 game weeks I'm 2.2 million. FPL is one of those games, like, putting more time into it doesn't equate to doing better, and ultimately it's completely out of our hands. You know, you can make this, go for the most obvious captain ever and he could miss a penalty, and that's out of your hands. And that's the thing of FPL. You have to kind of just surrender to the fact that this game is completely out of our hands, and football in itself is a completely random game. So you got to just keep making what you think are good decisions. If you keep making good decisions, it probably average out longer term. So just keep chipping away. Definitely don't go on tilt as well. That can definitely set you back and you end up making worse decisions. Not just FPL in general. Like, never make emotional decisions. Yeah, that's what initially comes to mind. But yeah, it's difficult. Like, I sympathise. It's frustrating if everything you're trying feels like it's not coming off. And we've all been there. Iron3 says, good morning Oscar, best FPL live ever. Why Gordon and not Bruno G, based on the recent game weeks and consistency, consistent 4 to 14 points since game week 8. Yeah, Gordon versus Bruno I've found really tricky, because obviously Bruno was rested as well as Gordon, and they both came on and both scored. Yeah, it's really close. Gordon, I just feel like he's more explosive. He's probably likelier to get me a double-digit return. And this season, Burnley have conceded 200 crosses down their right side, which is something like 30 more than any team, and way more than their other side. And the same again, they've conceded key passes down their right flank more than their left. So I think it's a positional weakness as well, that side. But it is really close. Like, it could go either way. We want AI FPL Focal. What, AI channel or Callum? Who remembers Callum? Was anyone here last season for Callum? The Callum era. Poor Callum, got voted out. Eden says, Watkins and Villa assets moving forward. I'm still not sure on Villa moving forward, if I'm honest. I can't right now. I can't see myself going Welbeck. Maybe Rodgers if he really starts to hit a patch of form. Justice for Callum. Poor Callum. Jeffrey says I hated Callum. Callum was great. Yeah, it was mixed emotions with Callum, so he had to go. Yeah, I just can't see myself going for Villa assets right now unless they really start to hit consistent returns. Obviously, like, Villa as a team are playing really well right now, and Watkins got the brace last match, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see, I think. I just think there's other mids I'd rather have. And he's not cheap as well, Watkins, so for me, it's probably going to be a pivot to 3-5-2, and it'll be Haaland and Thiago up front, and I'll spend the money in midfield. So my midfield would be, what, Saka, Bruno, Foden. Who's my last midfielder? Oh, and Enzo, probably. Will says, I can't afford Gordon, best 6.1 on a free hit. 6.1 mil mid. Can you, like, squeeze some money out somewhere and go Minte? Because Minte's, I think he's like 6'2 or 6'3, but he's worth funding the money for if he can somewhere. There's got to be somewhere. Somewhere to squeeze the money out. Like, even if it's your last bench player goes down to like a 3.9 mil defender like Esteve. Yeah, I'm not sure who there is. I mean, there's Anderson from Forest, but I feel like you want to chase more upside on a free hit than that. Or you go, I don't know what, I think Bruno G again is more, but maybe you can find the money somewhere. Bruno G and then Minte, if you can find the money for either of those, are better than Gordon in that order. Black E-Take says, did Tom decide on any transfers yet? I'm not sure. He was going to do Mateta to Gw and Stack to Foden, and I think that's what he's going to do. Nice music, Oscar. Maintain his volume. Perfect. I'm getting the volume right for once. Yeah, I think that's what he was going to do. So Mateta to Gw and Stack to Foden, and then he'll be on a 3-5-2. He was looking at other options, like he was looking at Gordon, Voltemada, but he was leaning towards doing that, so I think that's what he'll do. Struggling with this game says, hi mate, I have Foden, Haaland and Vardy. No Newcastle, no Man United. Also, Got Munoz, Mateta and Thiago. Can't decide whether to free hit. Any advice? Yeah, it's tricky to gauge this one. You've got Munoz there, you've got Mateta, you've got Thiago. It just comes down to how Newcastle and Man United do ultimately. Probably not, given you've got the City triple up. But if there's any leaks in this stream, like I'd be quite surprised if it happens, but let's say there's a leak, Foden's benched or Haaland's benched, or maybe Vardy's benched. If any of those, then I'd say that's the tipping point, and then you go for it. But it's a solid team, so I don't think you necessarily need to, without knowing who you've got instead of the Man United mids in midfield. But yeah, you've got some like key players covered there, so I don't think you have to, no. Razan, thanks for 34 months, says Semenyo to Foden and João Pedro to Thiago. Is it worth a -4? Oh. I'd say just about, probably is. As a long-term move, like, I think Thiago's so great as a long-term pick. But again, I wouldn't do that until near the deadline, just in case we get any news on Foden. Morning, Ellis. How we doing, mate? Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd do that, but I wouldn't do it till near the deadline, and just hopefully get some like confirmation that Foden starts. City play at 3 o'clock today, so we might not get it, but it's worth holding out for that. And I'm going to wait till near the deadline to lock my team in as well. Have you considered Palmer? Maresca says he's ready to start, and Bournemouth have been awful as of late. I have considered him, but it's just that risk that he's benched. I don't want to take too many risks on the free hit, basically. I want to try and pick players that are generally secure starters. And I think the Newcastle defence is a weird one. It's kind of hard to predict. Like, Newcastle was so much better with Hall in the team, but how did come out with that quote about managing him? So there's an outside chance Burn left back. So then you think, oh, surely you go for Burn then. But then some Newcastle fans are saying Burn hasn't been that great as of late, and he should be the one benched. And Cher's been complaining that he's not been starting, so then maybe Cher comes in at left centre back, and Cher's been the one that's been playing alongside Chow in the Champions League. So maybe it's Cher versus Burn. But then maybe Chow's due a rest, Livramento might be due a rest, but then Kraft and Trippier out. Honestly, I've been going in circles. I've been losing my mind with the Newcastle defence recently. Basically, I love Lewis Hall as an option, but it's that slight risk for me. I just don't want to take too many risks on the free hit, which Palmer potentially is. Nakisha says bench 1 out of Eze, Thiago, Enzo, and 1 of Senesi and Van der Ven. I bench Senesi. I bench 1 out of Eze, Thiago, and Enzo. Oh, that's tricky. I think it'd have to be Eze. I think it'd have to be Eze. I imagine he starts, but if there's anyone that doesn't, it would be him out of those 3. So bench Eze and bench Senesi. Novus, thanks for the 38 months. He says, hi Oscar, keep Rice, or do I buy Gordon/Bruno or Barnes? I really like Gordon as a 1-week punt, and we do get the 5 free transfers, so it does depend how your team is set up in 16. Because if you're looking to spend say 3 or 4 transfers in 16, then I'd say don't do that. But I do think it's an opportunity to go for someone like a Gordon and then hop straight off when you've got 5 free transfers if your team is in a position where you don't need to spend a few moves next week. So it depends on that, Novus. If you're well set up in 16, then go for it. Otherwise, keep Rice. Why not double Newcastle midfielders, Oscar? It's just the combinations. So if I go Bruno G, then who drops out? Probably Mbumo. But then Mbumo drops out, so then who starts in defence? Because I have to lose one of Livramento and Chow. It's just all the combinations, basically. Same with Voltemada. I'd love to have Voltemada. But then who misses out? Gordon or Livramento or Chow? And then who fills in their spot? It's all about the combinations on the free hit. What's your lineup? So it'll be a 3-5-2, and I'm starting Anderson. So Anderson, Livramento, Chow, Saka and Bumo, Gordon, Foden, Bruno, Haaland and Welbeck. So it'll be Van Heck first on the bench, Kadioglu second, and then Q. The Trammy Train says, I'm bench boosting with Anderson, Dango and Anderson. Yep, I like that. That makes sense. I'd bench boost that as well. Obviously Dango's off to AFCON soon as well, so right decision. Struggling with this game says, I was also considering Mateta and Sarr to Gordon and Voltemada for a hit. Or Enzo to Bruno G with my free transfer. Don't have any reason to sell my defenders at the moment. Okay, so let me go back up. So you got Foden, Haaland and Vardiol, and you're thinking about, not a massive fan of hits this week, but you've got Sarr. So selling Sarr does make sense. But I guess you can't afford that with one move. Or can you? Can you afford just Sarr to Gordon? How much money have you got in the bank? If you can afford Sarr to Gordon, I'd consider that and then call it a day. I'm not sure about the -4 to sell Mateta. I don't think I'd do that. Van Heck start for you. No, I'm actually going to start Anderson. 0.2 million. Oh, so it has to be both. I'm also keen on Enzo to Bruno G. I actually think I prefer the hit in that context. It's just whether you free hit though. I think I actually would then. I think I would free hit then if I were you. Because you save on the 4 points and then potentially gain more on top of that if the free hit goes well. I think I would. It's quite close, but I think I'd free hit, you know. The annoying thing with the free hit is no particular week looks like that's the week I have to use it. Well, I guess for some of you, like free hit 13 did look obvious, but for a lot of people like myself, it didn't. Which is quite annoying because obviously was it 13? I think it was free hit 13. Absolutely smashed it. But I already had players like Thiago. I had Van den Berg, I had Munoz, I had a few of these guys, and it just didn't make sense in my team. Annoyingly. I'm not anymore, but back then I was ahead of the curve a bit, and ultimately it cost me in a way, because I didn't have to free hit, but now I'd say I'm not ahead of the curve. When are you posting your team on X? I always post it right before the deadline, it's usually like 5-10 minutes before. So if you want to put notifications on. Does anyone have notifications on for me? I've always wondered that. I tweet quite a lot, so I'm guessing not. Yeah, I think I would struggling. To answer your question. Get it out of the way. Donaldinho, thanks for the 46 months. He says, Vert's dominance is about to begin. This is the week. Do you think so? How much is Vert's? Isn't he still well expensive? Is he under 8 million? You got YouTube notifications. On my YouTube recap, you were... Oh yeah, did you see... This is mad, I couldn't believe this. It's been awesome, by the way, getting tagged in your YouTube rap things, but my mate just sent me this, and I was like... I thought he was just sending me his, and I was like, what do you mean you've got me... behind Andy, but it's KSI's. KSI's, I'm in his top YouTube channels for the year. That's mad, isn't it? Has anyone else done the YouTube Wrapped? And if so, how did it look? Do you think it's stupid to have Isak in a free hit this week? Yeah, I don't know if he starts, so I would say yes. Mark says, hi Oscar, with one free transfer, Eze to Gordon, keep Salah for one last week. Alternatively, Salah to Gordon, Foster to Voltemada. and bench one of Minte, Dewsbury Hall and Thiago. Probably wouldn't do the hit. Just do Eze to Gordon. But again, stay tuned. You don't literally have to stay tuned to the stream, but there might be a leak in terms of Liverpool and City players, and that might change what you do. I asked the Liverpool guy earlier, and he says he's not heard anything yet, but hopefully he'll get news pre-deadline, he says, and he says you'll be the first to know. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that. Top 2%, appreciate that, thank you. Salarish wash, lads, sorry to say, says Roy. Number 2 on your Wrapped, I'll take that. So, do you like the 5 free transfers top up? 72% say yes, 28% say no. Interesting. Yeah, I'd do just that one move, Mark. Unless you don't have Foden, then I'd rather do Salah to Foden. How come you switched to Liver and Chow Focal? I'm really struggling with the Newcastle defence. Hal came up with a quote yesterday on Hull. I'll put it on the screen for a second. We had it up earlier, so just pause if you want to read that quote, or I'll go back to it. But basically he's saying, like, we want to manage him. Now, it might not be this game that he gets managed. It could be the Champions League. They've got Leverkusen, I think it is. So, reluctantly, I've taken Hull out. And then it's like, who do I go? Livramento and Chow. And the consensus seems to be that they are maybe the 2 most nailed. Some fans want Cher to start, so it's like, who does Cher come in for? Chow or Burn? Or maybe it's Hull, and maybe Burn goes left back. Don't know, it's really tricky, the Newcastle defenders. I tweeted twice about it, and you just get completely different answers from different fans and what they think is going to happen, so it's just scrambled my head even more, if I'm honest. So I've kind of landed at that, and I thought, hopefully they both start, and I'll just take 2 starts at this point. The original team still looks good this game. Do you still free hit? I mean, if your original team looks good, this is not my original team. This is my free hit team. But if you're asking if your original team looks good, do you free hit, then no. But this is not my original team. This will be my free hit team. I've got it active already. HRH says, hey Oscar, who to bench? Raya, Sarr, Timber, Snessi, Munoz, Foden, Zoba, Gakpo, Enzo, Mateta, Anderson, Van Dijk, Konsa. Okay. So bench Konsa. You bench Sarr. Bench Snessi. And I'd probably bench Mateta. As mad as that sounds, I think I'd bench Mateta. And just bank on the early minutes happening, or maybe Nketiah starting, but probably doesn't happen. So I bench those 4. -4 for Newcastle or Brighton. Nah, you don't need to take a hit. Your team's fine. Nova says, would you start Mateta, Anderson or Anderson? I'd be inclined to start Fulham's Anderson, as mad as that sounds. It's between the 2 Andersons. I don't think I'd start Mateta if I had a choice like that. So I'd say Fulham's Anderson number 1, then the other Anderson number 2, then Mateta. It's really close that though, if I'm honest, but that's my gut feeling there. Like, I'm starting Anderson on my free hit. Mark says, morning Oscar, I've got 1 free transfer. I've got Ride, Dubravka, Timber, Cucurella, Virgil, Stev, Semenyo. Who to get with 0.5 million? 1 free transfer. 0.5 million. Can you afford Semenyo to Foden? How much is Semenyo now? 7.7. Oh, you can't afford that. Okay. So, the options are Ndai to Minte or Mateta to Thiago. I think Mateta to Thiago is what I would do, Mark. So you start Raya, you start Timber, Lacroix, Cucurella, Van Dijk, Semenyo, Bruno, Enzo and Ndai, Haaland, Thiago. Mateta to Thiago. I think that's a nice long-term move. Is anyone else doing that this week? Are you doing Mateta to Thiago? Well, let us know regardless, in fact, what transfers are you making? And then we can get a feel for it from what you guys are saying in chat. Yeah, let us know what transfers you guys are making. The WDR says, why have you chosen Gameweek 15 to free hit? What about 16, 17, 18 or 19? To be honest, it was really close. I looked at all weeks and I just couldn't separate them. But this week maybe is an opportunity. Like, Arsenal have now got... To be fair, this wasn't part of my thinking. Oh, HRH has just gifted 10 memberships. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you, Prince. Thanks for that. HRH Prince with the 10 gifted memberships. So Arsenal have got Gabriel out. Saliba potentially out. Mosquera is definitely out. So Villa can score, and I've got no Arsenal defence, and that's a gain against all the Arsenal we owe. And not many people have got Newcastle assets. So that's also an opportunity, home to Burnley, I would say. What else? Oh, and Palace. So Palace went full strength midweek. Like if Fulham can shut Palace out again, like that's gains over the Mateta owners. If Fulham can score, then that's gains over all the Palace defensive asset owners, which is a lot. I doubt all this stuff's going to play out, but even just like if a couple of those come off on the free hit, then it could be nice. But other weeks look great as well. Chudy says, what's the reason for choosing Gordon over Voltemada? I think it's really close, but Gordon's on pens. I think he'll start. They might both play like 75 minutes, to be fair. They might get similar minutes, but I was saying earlier, like Burnley have conceded 200 crosses down their right side, which is way more than their left, and it's like 30 more than any team. And they've conceded more key passes down that side as well than any team. Alright, chill with the spam, Arish. The starting 11 is Anderson, Livramento, Chow, and then it's 3-5-2. So basically Van Heck, Kadioglu, and Mark Gu on the bench. Tim says Mateta to Voltemada and Enzo to Gordon from -4. How are we doing, Tim? Mateta to Voltemada, Enzo, Gordon. I don't think I'd do that for a hit. I think I'd stick with... Was it Semenyo to Foden? I think I'd rather do that if I were you. But wait till near the deadline, Tim, because just in case there's a leak. Where's Teddy? He's actually on my lap right now. He's asleep under the desk. It's freezing this morning, so I've got a little heater under the desk, so he's under the desk on my lap. He might emerge later. Yeah, I don't think I'd take the hit, Tim. Tuna, thanks for becoming a member as well. Appreciate you. Thanks for that. Mark Schroeder says, thanks, Oscar. I'll wait for news and go Eze to Gordon. I did Semenyo to Foden last week, -4. Still a red arrow. Who bets on Haaland blanks 3 game weeks in a row? Mate, I hope not. He's definitely my captain. HRH, thank you again for the 10 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, mate. Thanks for that. Right, so what do people say in terms of transfers? Voltemada in. Gordon in. Foden in. I guess there's going to be a lot of Foden. Mateta to Voltemada. Mateta to Thiago. Anderson to Timber. Anderson to Timber. Oh, Anderson or Timber. Sounds a bit mad, but I'd be inclined to start Anderson over Timber this week. Has anyone else got that dilemma? It's really close. Maybe the safe thing to do is to start Timber, though, given Arsenal defence, effective ownership. Let's have a look at the odds. How are they looking? So clean sheet odds is Newcastle top, then City, Brighton, Arsenal, Man United, Everton, Liverpool, Tottenham, Fulham, Palace. Projected goals, City are top, 2.6, Newcastle 2.5, and then Brighton, Man United. So yeah, in fairness, on my free hit, like I've basically loaded up on these top 4 for projected goals in my mids and attackers, plus Saka. So I've got 7 attackers and 6 of them are these top 4 there, plus Saka. Price changes. Foden went up again. That's got to be a record. 3 rises in 4 days. Lamans went up, Van Heck went up, Voltamada went up, Caicedo went down. That's about it. Oh, and Boomer went down. That Mbumo fall actually was quite helpful because I've got exact money on this free hit. Can you see up there? 0.0 million. Before that, I actually had a Stev over Kadioglu. It was either I go a Stev or Dubravka down to a 3.9 mil keeper doesn't play, but it's just slightly more depth now because I got rid of Mbumo and got him back in on the free hit. Hopefully I can get lucky and catch an Mbumo return. Alright, guesses in the chat then. King of the game week. It was Foden last game week, 17 pointer. What do you guys reckon for this week? King of the game week. I'm going to go... I'll go Cunha against his old team. Haaland, Livramento, Salah. Oh mate, if it's Salah. Voltamada. Bruno G. Bruno, Dan Burn, Dango, Zoboslai, Semenyo, and Mbumo, Dan Burn. Why is everyone saying Dan Burn? If it's Dan Burn and he's the Newcastle defender I don't get, I'll be livid. Is Mente a better choice over Gordon? Basically, Gordon's better for this week in isolation. Mente's better longer term. So it depends if you've got the flexibility to go for a 1 week pump. If your team looks well set up in 16 where you don't really need to do anything, maybe spend like 1 transfer, then I think Gordon's nice for 1 week, but otherwise Minte is just the better longer term pick. I don't rate Gordon as a longer term move because he's got Barnes for competition. Kusada says, Ryan goal, Munoz, Lacroix, Calafiori, Semenyo. Anything you change here? So you're going Munoz, Lacroix, Calafiori, Semenyo, Saka, Minte, Neto, Haaland, Mateta, benches Dubravka, Stev. Have you got any free transfers or have you already spent them? I don't think you really need to change anything. Obviously, if any of you have got... Cheeseman Chris, how we doing, mate? If any of you have got free transfers, then obviously there's like that pressure to spend them because you're going to lose them anyway. I mean, are any of you watching right now in a position where you don't even need to spend your free transfer and you're burning it? But yeah, your team looks good. I don't think there's anything pressing, but obviously it depends on if you've got a transfer, because then, yeah, maybe there'll be somewhere to find a small improvement. You know, even if it's like Caicedo to Anderson, something like that. But yeah, otherwise it looks good. What's your 11? It'll be Anderson, Livramento, Chow, Saka and Mbumo, Gordon, Foden, Bruno, Haaland and Welbeck. So Van Heck first bench, then Kadioglu and then Gw. And obviously Dubravka. But I'm going to be keeping a close eye on any team news. Like if there's some leaks, like Foden doesn't start, or maybe if there's a leak, O'Reilly starts or Vardy starts, then I'll maybe chop and change it a little bit. That's about it. So yeah, we'll have to see if we get anything as we near the deadline later. Maybe we will. Don't forget to hit like on the stream below, guys, if you're enjoying it, and hit subscribe, the button just below the stream. It's completely free to subscribe. I do these streams every deadline and make daily FPL videos, as you're probably aware already. But if you're not, hit subscribe so I can help you do well this season. How is everyone doing this season, rank-wise? Are you where you guys want to be, or you're behind schedule? I mean, we're not even halfway in the season, so if you're not where you want to be, then take encouragement from that as well. 25k, damn. You just joined and you got nearly the same team. Fair play. Hopefully we both smash it, mate. Aaron says terrible. Gorby says he's 8k, 4k, 139k, 500k. Stoney says the last couple of game weeks have been awful. Hopefully the next two are the opposite then, and you go back to where you were. You're 100 points below your sister. 300k. Worst start ever. You're overperforming 1.2k. Wow. 3.2k is that good, he says. What do you mean is 3.2k good? No, that's terrible. 407th in the world. Wow. You're 1k a week ago. W United on a free hit is bad, Focal. But who do I go instead? The only one I'd consider is Minte over in Bumo. But it's Wolves. I feel like I have to back United against Wolves. Tarkowski for the free hit. How about that, Oscar? I love Tarkowski. I'd love to have him on the free hit. I just can't afford him. I would have to lose Kadioglu down to a 3.9. Same with Van Heck. And then I could afford it, but then I've got no bench depth. 300k, about 100k last week. I mean, the last few weeks have been swingy. Like, if you didn't go Haaland captain last game week, then you were properly up against it. Myself included. Oh, Bruno came close as well to returning. Very frustrating, but never mind. That's how this game goes. I mean, I probably deserved that for not backing Haaland in the form he's in. Going from Man United mid. No Haaland captain last week and no free hit the week before. Mate, same here. Last couple of game weeks have been a real challenge. My green arrow run came to an end as well last game week. I was on something like 8 or 9 greens in a row, but the run has ended. Yeah, Foden as well. Like, Foden's ownership last week with that brace was killer. Frederick says, worst season ever. I'm not even close to where I want to be. Got the free hit and triple captain left. I'm hoping to close the gap second half. Yeah, there's so much time left as well. That's the thing. Like, even if you're outside 1 million, it's such a long way to go. You can still finish this season well. Where was I at this stage last season? I think I actually exported it. Let me see if I can find it. What were Game Week 15? Oh, it was 156k actually this time last season. So I'm a bit ahead of schedule. And I like wasted chips last season. I triple captain Haaland, again messed that up. Haaland got 6 points. And I bench boosted 4 points last season. And still finished well. Metin says, free hits active, let's go, fingers crossed. Best of luck with it, I hope it does go well. Robert says, good morning Focal, why not Murphy? Just don't know 100% he starts, maybe Alanga starts. Or maybe one of Gordon or Barnes' right wing. Just not confident enough in it. Hoped for Bruggen or Senesi to Anderson. That's an interesting one. I think Senesi to Anderson I think I'd actually rather do if you've got a backup keeper like Dubravka to play. Yeah, Pope does need to go soon. And then just deal with it next week, I would say. To tie with my best season, I need to average 70 points a week. Which defender are you starting? It'll be Anderson, Livramento and Chow. Marino on a free hit, given Martinez is out. I think it's a late fitness test on Martinez. I don't think he's 100% out, is he? Unless there's been other news I've missed. But no, not for me. I've got Saka on the free hit. I'm fine with that. Also, Gyökeres could start. Might not. Has Olympian put the curse on Foden? Oh, God. The last few weeks. Yeah, he captained... Yeah, what was it? His last week it was Haaland, didn't he? He said, like, no doubt it's going to be Haaland this week. And then Haaland blanked. No, sorry. Last week he said Bruno captain and Bruno blanked. And then was it the week before he said Haaland who blanked? I can't remember. But he's on a bit of a bad spell, isn't he? And he said Foden this week is his one. Right, so Subham Ray says Semenyo / Minte / and Die play 2 overall 60k for the first time. Congrats on the rank. Which 2 to play? Minte definitely. Semenyo versus and Die. Really close, that one. Really close. Probably in Die just about, with the home fixture to Forest is slightly better than Semenyo's fixture. It's close though. Chelsea just lost 3-1 to Leeds. Still no Caicedo. It is really close. I'd say Minte and Die. Freaky Fan Guy says, amazing content. I've used 3 transfers. I've got my free hit wildcard, 1.2 mil on the bank. Ryan Rose, Timber, Senesi. Can you give a general long-term view on the team? And your ranks 1 million. And he said sad. Let's see. So Riot. Okay, Timber, Senesi, Chalap, Munoz. Who's Konak? Bruno, Longstaff, Welbeck, Mateta, Haaland. I feel like you're missing a... a few good picks. You've got free transfers, so that's good. So maybe Mateta to Thiago. And then what do we do? I'd probably get rid of Merino. I can't do the maths in my head with the 1.2 mil, but Mateta to Thiago, Merino to Foden, Senesi to Mukiele. Does that work? Something along those lines. The good news is you've got 3 moves, so you've got loads of options, and then you've got another 5 next week. So you've got 8 free transfers in 2 weeks, basically. But yeah, Mateta to Thiago, I would do that. And then, yeah, see if you can find a way to squeeze Foden in and get rid of Merino. Otherwise, if you can't do that, then Merino to Minte. That works. I don't know who Konak is, though. But, yeah, consider that. I think that looks quite good. If you can afford those as 3 moves. Yeah, I'd get rid of Merino this week. Whether it's for Foden by selling Senesi down to a 4.1 mil. Or just go Merino to Minte. And you could still do the Senesi down to a cheap one just to free up moves for Gameweek 16. The WDR says, I'm 1.5 mil short in the free hit drafts, same as yours. Foden to Neto, any other suggestions? 1.5 mil short. Probably just do Mbumo to Minte. Simple as that. You might have enough to go like Van Heck to Tarkowski, or sorry, Kadioglu to Tarkowski as well if you do that. I think they're really close as well. Like Minte could do better. J Roke, thanks for the 27 months. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. On AVG7 says start Lacroix De Kuiper this week. I think I'd actually. I think I'd start Lacroix. I know De Kuiper's out of position left wing, but I don't know if he plays 3 games in a week in left wing. Like, although Matoma might not make it, Herzler still has other options he can play there. Like, I think Gomez could play there. And there's someone else, I can't remember who it is, but I don't think it's a certainty that he plays left wing. So I actually don't think I would. I think I'd go Lacroix. It's quite close that, but I'd say Lacroix. Ollie says, bring in Doku or Minte for Semenyo. Minte, yes, I like Minte. Doku I would avoid. Yeah, Semenyo to Minte. Is it an upgrade though over the next few weeks? Semenyo's tricky because he's got Burnley home. I think it's in 17. But yeah, I think I would do that. Yeah, Akshat says, hi Oscar, Burn, Timber, Tarkowski, Anderson and Van Heck, which 3 on the free hit, plus your 3rd in my YouTube recap, and you've got the X notifications turned on. Appreciate you, thanks Akshat. Which 3 on the free hit? Well, I would be biased because I've got... So you're not going like Livramento or Chow? Okay. Well, Tarkowski, definitely. Anderson, yes. Timber, I think, is good, in fairness, but he might play centre-back, is the thing. So, yeah, it's tricky. He might play centre-back, and maybe they'll concede one. If he does play centre-back, because that means Mosquera is out, probably Saliba's out, Gabriel definitely out. So that's why I just actually swerved Arsenal defence. I'll have to hope for an Arsenal win, with Saka involved, but Arsenal concede. In a nutshell. But I would say, yeah, Burn, Anderson, Tarkowski if I was picking 3 there. Salah says, need a defender for this week and for the weeks ahead. Rodon to Tarkowski, Newcastle defender, Palace defender. Who do you suggest? I think Chow from Newcastle, 4.9 mil. I've got him on the free hit. Newcastle got pretty nice long-term fixtures as well. I mean, look at that all the way down there. Most of those, you'd be happy starting him. So I'd say Chow. I mean, it's the perfect entry point as well for Burnley home. Oscar playing greedy ball. What does that mean? What's greedy ball? With the free hit? I mean, what would you change on this free hit? It's fairly balanced, I would say. Grealish captain? Nah, not for me. Why have we changed Hall to Chow? Yeah, we were talking about earlier. Basically, House said something at his press conference about having to manage Hall. It might not be this game, and I think Hall is by far the best Newcastle defender if he starts. So I'm gutted to drop him, but it was just that slight uncertainty for me. With House saying that he wants to manage him. I think keep Cunha this week. What do you think? Yeah, I'd keep him as well for Wolves. And then maybe sell. Why Saka on the free hit? Oh, he got the midweek rest. He was benched. He came on and he scored. And it's like, who do I go for instead? Who is there? I'm not going Palmer over Saka. Famous last words. And then there's Minte, but I don't know, it just feels wrong to go for Minte over Saka. But Minte is really nice this week. FPL Olympians capping Foden. Would you really consider keeping him? I can't let him get in my head. I can't do it. I know what you mean though. The man is cursed, but I can't. Koa says start 3 of O'Reilly, Guay, Timber and Cucurella. O'Reilly, yeah. Are Chelsea playing home or away? Away. I'd start Cucurella, I think regardless. Guay versus Timber. What's the clean sheet odds saying? Arsenal 38, Palace 27, so Timber. Timber's the 3rd. O'Reilly, Timber, Cucurella. Stevie says bench 1 from João Pedro, Richards or Anderson, Fulham. I would bench Richards out of those 3 and play João Pedro and play Anderson. Is Foden even 100% start? No one's 100% start under Pep. Even Haaland potentially, but I think Pep would be daft and it'd be naive to bench the likes of Foden against Sunderland, given how good Sunderland have been. Like, Sunderland have been so good this season, and like, they just took a point. They just came away from Anfield with a point, and they're having a great season overall. Like, if they keep going, they could end up in like the Europa League for all we know. That would be crazy, straight off the back of promotion. You thought we'd save him for Madrid. Well, this is the tricky thing though, because Sunderland are very good themselves. And he does need to get the balance right. Like, maybe he'll end up resting players away at Palace. Who knows? Yeah, tricky. What change would you go on your free hit if your rank was really bad? I wouldn't change anything. This free hit in itself is quite aggressive in some places. Like, there's no Palace defence, there's no Arsenal defence. And no one, or very, very few people that aren't in a free hit are going to have triple Newcastle. Double Man United attacks, quite aggressive. And then you haven't got some high-owned players like Semenyo. It's already quite a differential free hit. I mean, what's Gordon? 1.8%. Chow 2.8. Livramento 3.4. Anderson 3.2. Arch says, is Haaland Sunderland the best triple captain option before Christmas? No, I'd go Game Week 17. He's got West Ham home in 17. That week's better for a couple of reasons. Reason number one is the surrounding fixtures. Midweek before that, they've got the League Cup. So Pep might rotate a bit more there. And if you look afterwards, there's a 1 week gap to the next game. There's nothing in between that, because it is Christmas then. So there's a 1 week gap after West Ham home as well. And I'd say West Ham are a worse team than Sunderland, let's be honest. So this season, certainly. So I'd say Game Week 17. Alright, let's have a look over on X, see if anything's happening. We've got like an hour till deadline. I'll keep an eye out for leaks over the next hour or so. I don't know. Maybe we'll get something from City, maybe not. I'm kind of hoping we will on a free hit, because that would be really painful if like he does do something unexpected like bench Foden. Also, like imagine if he does, and I'm on a free hit, and I can just easily take Foden out. That would be another massive edge on the free hit. So, yeah, I wouldn't actually mind if he did something crazy today, Pep. I've actually got like 5 or so different drafts on my desktop. I worked it out in advance because I keep getting in this position where something happens when I'm live that takes me off guard, and I didn't think about it beforehand, and then I've got to figure out live. So I've got a few different drafts, like if Foden's benched, or what if O'Reilly starts, or I don't know, what if Vardy will start so Riley doesn't. So, I think I'm ready for whatever comes. What's your starting 11? It'll be Van Hecke and Kadioglu on the bench. So it'll be Donnarumma, Anderson, Livramento, Chow, Saka and Bumo, Gordon, Foden, Bruno, Haaland and Welbeck. You're seriously debating dropping Foden out for your triple United midfield? I just don't know if I could do it to myself. Like 2 braces in a row. Imagine how bad that would look if you just go without Foden and he goes and does well again. It's only like small changes if Foden doesn't start. You know, like it would be Mente over Foden, and then maybe a Palace defender over Van Hecke or over Kadioglu. Just subtle changes like that. XXL says buy Munoz, Foden, Wilson or Livramento, Foden, Barnes. Munoz, Foden, Wilson, Livramento. So Foden's in both. So you're asking me Munoz and Wilson or Livramento and Barnes. Munoz, Wilson. But Wilson I don't rate as an FPL pick. I'd rather just go all the way down to a Gw and then have a 5 midfield. But yeah, the first combination's better. LM says, thinking of Man United defender with Chow and Livramento on the free hit, what are your thoughts? I can't bring myself personally to go Man United defence on a free hit. I mean, Delict is back, so like he could be the one, but I can't bring myself to buy a Man United defender or Lamans on a free hit personally. Yes, Semenyo to Bruno -4. I don't mind that as a long-term move, especially if you've got 3 moves to make next week already. Yeah, that's alright. Struggling with this game says last one, Semenyo to Gordon for free and no free hit. Depends on your team for 16 really. Again, like if you're well set up in 16, don't have to make transfers, then it's fine because you can just get Gordon straight back out. Sorry, one sec, blow my nose. Right, I'm back. Sorry, I'm still shaking this bug, you know. It's almost gone, but it's still lingering. Yeah, if your team's set up well in 16, like where you don't have to make a few moves, and I think that's alright. But if there's other stuff that you're realistically going to have to do, then I'd rather just free hit. It's close, but I felt like maybe free hit is just about worth it in your setup. The O says, can you rate my free hit starting 11? Ramsdale, Calafiori, White, Chow, James, Bruno, Saka, Palmer, Thiago, Voltemada, Haaland. Yeah, I like it. Palmer's a little bit risky. Does he finally start this one or not? You've only got double... You only got double triple Newcastle. You got Ramsdale. Yeah, it's fine. Don't dislike that. There's similarities and differences there in terms of mine versus yours. Like James will start this one for sure. Yeah, I mean, like if Palmer does start and he does well, he's like the craziest differential you'll ever see this week. Yeah, good team. Simon, thanks for the super chat as well. Message retracted. Liam says, hey Focal, why'd you choose Gordon over Voltemada? Yeah, it's really close. I think it just kind of boiled down to... First of all, Gordon's on pens. I mentioned earlier in the stream that Burnley have conceded 200 crosses on their right side, which is like way more than their left side, and it's worse in the league. And they've also conceded more key passes down their right side than their left. So it's potentially a weak side for them. Plus, yeah, the penalties thing. It's really close, but that's just where I landed. I think he should start. I really hope he does, otherwise I will look daft. XXL says, I meant Harry Wilson from Fulham. Oh, okay. So, let me go back to your message. So it was, yeah, so Foden's in both. So actually you're just asking me Munoz and Harry Wilson or Livramento and... Oh, and Harvey Barnes. So yeah, first one still. Munoz and Wilson. How much is Wilson? Is there not? He's 5.2. Can you not afford like Anderson? He's 5.4. I think I'd even rather Dewsbury Hall than Wilson. Wilson's always one of those players like he'll randomly hit a patch of form and then his minutes just turn rubbish again. Like he's prone to stuff like that. 58-minute sub. Just not. Yeah. It's not for me, but I don't hate the pick. I think I'd rather go someone like Anderson, Forrest Anderson. But yeah, definitely the first combination anyway, regardless. Burtman says, rate my free hit. Donnarumma, Chow, Munoz, Van Heck, Foden, Gordon, Bumo, Bruno, Welbeck, Voltemada, Haaland. So your bench, you got Minte, Mukiele, any 3.8. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, mine's very similar, so... But yeah, nice team. There's only like a couple differences really, mine to yours, so yeah, I like it. Minte's really nice cover as well if we don't get leaks. Like I've only got Van Heck as cover. If anyone's benched. Nayar11 says Van Heck / Tarkowski and Foden Gakpo for a free hit. Tarkowski, I really like. I just couldn't afford him to start him. I'd like to start him over Anderson if I had the money. Van Heck's nice as well. I think Van Heck versus Anderson's 50-50. Brighton have got slightly better clean sheet odds, but Fulham have been really good at home, and Palace did go full strength midweek. And he's better for DEFCON, so it's close. Foden, yeah. Gakpo, not so much. Not so keen on Gakpo. Ray says, sell Enzo Rodgers to bring in Bruno G. Rodgers, yeah, I can get behind that. I like Rodgers to Bruno G. If you can afford Gordon, that might be even better, but Bruno G is good. I guess Bruno G is someone that you could just not have to worry about selling straight away, whereas Gordon might be. But yeah, I would sell Rodgers. Let's have a look at the scout selection. Let us know how many players you've got. This week, they've gone Pickford, Munoz, O'Reilly, Chow, Saka, Bruno, Foden, Bruno G, Minte, Haaland and Voltemada. So even on a free hit, I've actually not got that many the same. So it's Chow, Saka, Bruno, Foden, Haaland. I've got 6, even on a free hit. You got 4. Morning, Oscar. Wishing you a good gaming. Love you. Good morning, El Senor Lump. 3, 5, 4, 2, maybe 3. FPL Mikkel. I couldn't justify using the free hit last week, and I got 77 points. You feel the same this week? It's got your team rating the worst for Gameweek 16, but still 65 points went to free hit. Well, based on that, it sounds like 16. If you've got that same feeling this week, don't use it. 16's a really solid week. And like, imagine Palmer does start this week and then he's definitely ready to start home to Everton. That's really nice. Yeah, 16's a really good week as well for it. Save it. Samir says, free hit is active. Team Verbruggen, Chow, Tarkowski, Virgil, Palmer, Bruno and Dye, Gordon, Foden, Haaland, Voltemada, some minutes risk. What are your thoughts? I like it. I'd rather Minte over and Dye on a free hit. Minte's got West Ham home and Dye's got Forest home, so Minte wins on fixture. But yeah, other than that, looks good. Yeah, I mean, if there are any Chelsea fans watching, does Palmer start this one or is it another cameo? Let us know. They're obviously managing him, and it's just whether he's ready to now start. If he does start, it could be like, you know, it gets 70 odd minutes. But yeah, mega differential. Why not? Akshat says Newcastle defenders ×2 or Bruno/Gordon and Voltemada and 1 defender on the free hit. Well, my answer would be the first one, obviously, because that's how I'm set up. However, it's really, really close. Yeah, I struggled to separate them, honestly. The Newcastle, the defenders I kind of struggled with. Because if I go Voltemada, then which defenders do I go instead? Like maybe Tarkowski? It's just all about the combinations. But yeah, it's close. I think Voltemada, Bruno Gordon and a defender is perfectly good. Could end up better. What's your rank goal? I mean, I've got to say 10k, but 10k is very, very hard. But I'd have to say that. That would be a dream finish. To finish inside. For the 2nd season in a row as well. But that's going to be very hard to do. Even from here. It's a game of luck. Burn for DEFCON. Burn's not even good for DEFCON. Got a statistics widget on the app. An FPL dot page, and you can just go load preset DEFCON defenders and it will show you who's the best per 90. So it's like Anderson, so Senesi, Anderson, Lacroix, Virgil, Stev, Collins, Tarkowski. Yeah, look, Burns 8.59, so he's not as good as others. It's not bad actually. Giving away free premium, by the way, if anyone wants to take advantage. And that ends this month, and that's the last giveaway of the season. So if you want a free month of premium membership, there's a link in the description for that. You get all the premium widgets, you get dashboard customization. It hides all the ads. we go like that. So you can like move widgets around like that, customize it on your phone or on PC. You can change the theme. Yeah, and you get access to some of the cool widgets like this one, which is Gameweek projections. This is like projected clean sheets, projected goals, set the Gameweek range. So yeah, there's a link in the description if you want to take advantage. It's the last giveaway of the season. Completely free month of membership. You can cancel straight away or cancel at the end of the month and still enjoy a completely free month. So yeah, link below for that. Projection widget's the best. Yeah, that's the new one, and I think it's the best one yet. It's really helpful because it's one thing looking at the colours on the fixture ticker. Like you can kind of get a feeling for fixtures just by looking at the colours, but what you actually want to know is who's going to score the most goals, but also who's keeping the most clean sheets, and those are two completely different things. So yeah, that's a really good new widget, which uses 11 of 5's prediction data. Free hit 15, Donnarumma, Chow, Tarkowski, Bruno. 20.7 million left. Huh? Do you mean 2. Oh, you mean 0.7? 0.7, surely. Team looks good though. I like it. I ended up not going for Hall, and I might massively regret it because I think he's by far the best Newcastle defender. But there was this quote, mainly the second paragraph, that might be of interest. And I just when I actually watched the press conference back, and when I listened to Hal say that, like, we just have to navigate this next period well because we want him to remain on the pitch, and we have to be careful with him because we've got so many games. I just wondered if he might give him a rest at some point. It might not be this week. It could be Champions League. I'm playing a 3-5-2, Ibrahim. Anyway, yeah, if you want to read that full quote, just pause and rewind. But in a nutshell, he just mentioned a possible rest, or kind of implied it at some point. It might not be this week. But yeah, other than that, great team. Looks good, Frederick. Joker says, can I... You DM'd me it? Okay, I don't normally do it in the DMs, but I'll make an exception. Why'd you DM it? On X? Oh yeah, I see it. So you've gone Donnarumma, Van Heck, Munoz, Anderson, Karioglu, Anderson, Ever Anderson, Gordon, Bumo, Foden, Bruno, Baltamada, Haaland, Welbeck. Yeah, looks good. I like it. You got 2.2 million, so just spend it. Yeah, may as well. You know, go like Dubravka to Raya, or go Alderete to Tarkowski. Something like that. But yeah, nice draft. Anderson, the Forest Anderson on the bench. But yeah, you may as well spend that 2.2 mil. Don't forget to activate it because you've got minus 28 on your screen there. NASA, thanks for 40 months. Van Dijk to O'Reilly and Sarr to Foden. If there's a leak that both start, yeah. I don't know if I'd do it otherwise. I'd be more inclined to just do something like Sarr to Minte. If you don't have him. Yeah, I like Tarkowski on the free hit. If I could afford him, I'd have him in. And I'd start him. Otherwise, yeah, if there's no leaks, I don't think I'd do that. But I would do it if there are leaks on O'Reilly and Foden. God, I really hope we get something before the deadline. Because it could be such a nice edge on the free hit as well. Still 45 minutes till deadline, so I'll keep an eye out. Oh, okay. Someone sent me a Newcastle thing, but they said they had no idea on its legitimacy. It was going around in Newcastle chats. And it said like Chow, Livra, Byrne, Gordon, Voltamada starting, but he said no idea on the legitimacy, so... Right, let's keep going. Where did I get to? JR Aaron says free hit Foden, Donnarumma, Gu, Chow, O'Reilly, Voltamada, Raya, 4.5 mil. Yeah? Is this, what's this? Is this like an A or B? You've lost me here. Yeah. I'd say the first combination is better. Yeah, the first one. Chris says, happy Saturday. Best Semenya replacements, 0.3 million. 0.3 million, so you can't afford Foden. Can't afford Bruno. You could go Gordon, 1 week punt. But it does depend on how you look in 16. I think Gordon for 1 week is a potential opportunity, because not many are going there. But I wouldn't do it unless you could get back off Gordon in 16 potentially. Maybe you won't have to, but maybe you will. Like if Barnes then starts in the Champions League, Gordon starts today, then maybe you keep Gordon another week. But other than that, Minte, I would say. Joker Dan says, appreciate that, bro. No worries, thanks for the support. Frederick says, sorry, I meant I have 20.7 million left for the bench. Any ideas? Oh, for the bench. Okay. So, I'd go Dubravka, backup keeper. You can go Tarkowski. Oh, you got him, sorry. Go Van Heck. Anderson. And then just fill that last spot with whatever you've got left. Like Gw for 4.2. Oh no, sorry, you've got 3 strikers. And then whatever you can spend on the last spot. Those are the sort of good bench players like Van Heck, Anderson, maybe O'Brien if you've got 4.9 mil. Probably play centre back with Keane out. Af says, what's your take on Gordon versus Bruno G versus Barnes, assuming each starts? Assuming they all start, I'd say Gordon. If nothing else, depends. But I mentioned earlier as well, like Burnley are conceding chances down their right side far more than their left, so Gordon's side. Assuming Gordon starts left wing. But Bruno G's great, he had the midweek rest. I just think the wingers are more explosive, and Barnes did start, so maybe Gordon starts this one. So I'd rank them Gordon, Bruno G, Barnes. George Iliev says, what I do with Gakpo, got him last week. Well, keep him. Didn't he do well? No, was that the week before? Yeah, I'd keep him. Don't think you need to sell him this week. Unless there's a leak. If there's a leak, then sell him. And it depends who you can afford. If you can afford Foden, go for him. If not, Minte's great. 13 Killing says, hi Oscar, can you help with this team please? 2 free transfers, 0.3 million. Richards, Aquala, Kanate and Dye, Bruno, Saka, Minte. Anderson, Stack and Mukiele on the bench. Foden, Root, João Pedro out. Two free transfers. I'd probably do João Pedro to Thiago. Oh, you want to get okay. So if you want Foden, then it'll have to be João Pedro down to Gw, and then Dye up to Foden. Does that work? I think it does. Check if that works. 13 killings. João Pedro to Gw and Dye to Foden. That's quite nice. I don't think you can you afford Stack to Foden instead? That's even better, obviously. JKRF says, why not Thiago on a free hit? Spurs are awful at home. Well, Welbeck got the midweek rest. He's playing West Ham home, so it's just like A or B, isn't it? If I compare them side by side, Welbeck on paper is the even better fixture. and he had the midweek rest. But yeah, Thiago's great. Freak Van der Gulik says, who to start, Enzo or Thiago? I would say Thiago. Could be a difficult game, Bournemouth away. Bournemouth for no pushovers home. I would say Thiago, playing against Spurs, start him. Let's have a look at the most transferred players. 1.4 million have bought Foden. Thiago's second, 530,000. Bruno G, Voltemada, Munoz, Marino, Minte, Van Heck, Timber, Raya, Guay, Doku. It's crazy. Most sold then. Semenyo, João Pedro, Caicedo and Bumo, Sarr, Rice, Mateta, Gabriel, Van der Ven. Clean sheet odds, please, Oscar. Is Hall not starting? I mean, my best guess is he does, but it's that slight doubt is why I've not backed him on the free hit, basically. Most transferred in, cursed to hit again. Alright, let's stick a new poll up. What should we do the poll on? Quick chip poll. How many chips have you got left after this game week? I wrote Gameweek. After this Gameweek. Not urgent to get Foden. If there's a league that he starts 13, then I would say João Pedro to Gw and then Dye to Foden's nice. But yeah, I don't dislike one of the City defenders either, again, if there's a league. Otherwise, I don't think I'd risk that. If I was going to risk a player, I'd rather risk Foden, if that makes sense. Isak on a free hit. Oh, I'm not even sure if he'll start. Could be Ekatike, no? Yeah, I'll keep checking because I have to pray we get something, because it could be really nice if there's something on the free hit that I could take advantage of, but I don't know if we'll get it so early because they kick off at 3. It's not even like City have got the early kickoff. What about De Kuiper, given he's playing out of position? Yeah, I did look at him, but there's a chance he doesn't play out of position. Or sorry, there's a chance he doesn't even start the next one. So I don't think I want to risk it. Someone else could play there. Does he start 3 in a week? He might do, but I don't want to risk it. I just don't want to take risks. Too many risks on a free hit. Morning, Kev. How we doing? What's the update on Rice? Well, if I recall, Rice was asked post-match and he said he'll be fine. But in Arteta's press conference, he gave his usual vague answer like, we'll see after training. So I would take Rice's word for it, and I think Rice will be fine. Who are your starting defenders on the free hit from Nenzi? It'll be Anderson, Livramento and Chow. So it'll be Van Heck, Kadioglu and Mark Gw on the bench, and Dubravka. Gumby says, I got the triple captain left. Which game week to use it and which player? Haaland, the game week 17. That's the one, in my opinion, if you still got it. Jack says, is De Kuiper risky on the free hit and double Arsenal defence? Yeah, I was just talking about De Kuiper. He's not a guarantee to start in left wing. Obviously, if I knew he was going to start left wing, he would be in, 100%. But I don't want to risk it. There are other players that can play there, and that would be 3 games in a week for him. What did Tom do? He was looking at going Mateta to Gw and Stack to Foden. So that's Tom's plan. Mateta to Gw, Stack to Foden. He was looking at other stuff, but I think that's what he was leaning towards. So how many chips have you got left after this week? 42% none, 38% 1, 16% 2, 4% 3. How many hits have you taken this season? Poll is up. Nair 11 says 1 to drop. Minte, Gordon, Voltemada and Welbeck. Oh, that's so close. I think it'd have to be Minte. I think it'd have to be Minte because Welbeck got the midweek rest, and he's on pens. Why have you gone Donnarumma? I just don't know about the City defenders. In a nutshell, if I knew O'Reilly or Vardy starts, I'd have them, but I don't. So I'm just kind of managing the risk. Boxer meet canvas, best part of the stream. Absolute tune. What do you mean by hits? You know, like when you spend more transfers than you've got available, it docks you 4 points. Dimitri says, would you sell Mbumo for Foden this game week? Yeah, I would. I think I would. But again, wait till near the deadline, just in case there's news on Foden. Like that could quickly end up a bad move if we did it early and there's a leak. Obviously, like some people already did it before the price changes, and that's fair enough. Oh. But yeah, I wouldn't do it now. I'd wait till near the deadline just in case. What song is this? Boxer Meet Canvas by Wilding. It's my cousin's song. Does Gordon even start? I think he will. Gordon or Mbumo. On a free hit, Gordon. Salah on a free hit. I mean, if I knew he started... Nah, even then. Even if I knew he started, I wouldn't have him unless Haaland was benched or something mad like that. Otherwise, it's just not happening. Does Minte start? Yeah, almost certainly. Joker Dan, thanks for becoming a member. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate you, mate. Freaky Fan Guy says, random questions. How much do you realise on the eye test compared to stats? Most differential, sensible wildcard Gameweek 16. Peak Salah versus peak Haaland in FPL. Peak Salah all day. Not even close. Not even close. Peak Salah. Shout out to Wardle as well. He's tuned in. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you had a good Friday night. Yeah, I definitely do factor an eye test. Like, I watch as many games as I can every game week to try and make sure I don't miss anything. So yeah, I watch a lot of games. I don't just like go based off an AI or just based off XG or anything. Like, I watch a lot of games and do factor it in. And sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Like, Semenyo's come really close to returns in games recently, and I've held on to him, and then he's ended up not doing anything regardless. But most sensible differential. I struggle to do a whole wildcard, but I'd say the main differential is Palmer on a Gameweek 16 wildcard. I think it has to be Palmer. Oh, Dan, thanks very much for the 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you. Thanks very much, Dan. Thanks for the support. Starboy McGee as well for the 29 months says, Rice, Mateta, Wilson, who do I bench? I'd start Rice. I think you have to start Mateta. It has to be Rice and Mateta. And bench Wilson. Start Enzo or Dewsbury Hall? Start Enzo. Same on free hit 16, by the way, not just wildcard 16. Going back to Freaky Fan Guy's question. Now, if you still got your free hit and you're using it next week, then Palmer home to Everton could be a mega one. It'd be good if Palmer did become a proper option again. Because right now it's like there's no Salah, definitely no Isak. So I feel like people are slowly gravitating towards Haaland, Foden, Saka. Some already have it probably. Any of you got that triple up? Haaland, Foden, Saka. And then maybe Bruno as well. I hope to have all 4 in Gameweek 16. That's my aim. My husband says your keyboard sounds exactly like shaking a spray can graffiti. Now I can't hear it. Does it actually? Oh my god, it does? I know what you mean. Yeah, it does. That's so funny. Oh dear. Now I can't unhear it. Xshell says, morning. Ekitike to Voltamada or Thiago? Cheers. I'd rather Thiago, yeah. Ekitike to Thiago. I think Thiago's the better longer term pick, but Voltamada's nice. Vissa apparently couldn't make the bench today as well, so that's a factor. I don't think he'll really eat away his minutes much right now, but again, it's just a little factor. It's going to blow my nose again. Sorry, I'm back. Why not Hall instead of Chow? It's just based on what House in his press conference about managing him. Like he's been saying, yeah, he's done really well and all these things, but he said, I think he can be really pleased, but we have to navigate this next period well because we want him to remain on the pitch, and to do that we're going to have to be careful with him because we've got so many games and he's so important. So yeah, when I heard that in his press conference, it just made me wonder, is there a slight chance he doesn't start? And do I want to take that chance? And it's really close because Hall is by far the best Newcastle defender for this week. So it's really close, but I just decided against it. Can Palace achieve a clean sheet? I mean, they're keeping lows right now. Have you seen the top FPL point scorers? Palace are 3 of the top 4. Or 5 of the top 10. Liverpool Agenda says start and die or Anderson, and start Richards or Chalobah. I'd start and die. Richards versus Chalobah. It's close, that. Probably Chalobah. What's the clean sheet odds suggest? Yeah, I mean they're 3% apart to be fair. Palace 27%, Chalobah 24%. I would say Chalobah though. Jamie says I've got 9 million for a midfielder for the free hit. I've got double United, Foden, Gordon. 9 million. So it'd have to be. I mean, it'd have to be Minte. I'd actually. It's Minte or Cunha, and I couldn't bring myself to go triple United, Jamie, but it could work. Like, how we doing, Zykel? Like, if United put a few past Wolves and you've got Bruno and Bumo Cunha, then it could do really well, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So therefore it's basically just Minte. There was no one else that I liked. I went for Saka basically, but he's like another 1.1 million. Yeah, I haven't got it on the pick team page because basically there's some players that have changed in price that may or may not be in my final draft depending on price changes. So I'm just waiting until a bit nearer the deadline and then I'll lock it in. How would you distribute the 3 mil spare? Depends on the rest of your team. If it's similar to mine, you could just go like Kalioglu to Tarkovsky, Dubravka to Raya, just, you know, depth like that. All your money in midfield is mental. Well, where else would you spend it? Do I really want to go for like a Timber and spread the money there, or a Van Dijk? I don't think they're bad picks this week. But I think on a free hit you could pump the money into midfield. I think that's fine. We've got 25 minutes till deadline. I'll keep checking for any team news. If we get anything, I'll let you know straight away. Samir says, I changed and died to Welbeck now. I hope he starts. I think he will. He got the midweek rest, and obviously they're managing him because he's, what is he, like 34 now? I think it was just a case of managing him. Play what's in front of you. And Villa was a tougher game, so I think that was the right decision to give him midweek rest off and then start him again home to West Ham. Foden's risen 3 times this week. That might be a record. I honestly can't remember in all my years of playing FPL for a player to rise 3 times in 4 days. Did anyone else discover that their mini league rival is also a focal local? What do you mean, like in my league? How about Voltamada? Voltamada's great. It's super close between him and Gordon. Anderson or Richards? I'd rather start Anderson. Oh, he watches the live streams too. Got you. Best Sar replacement? Probably Minte. For about that price. Morning Oscar, missed anything? Nothing yet, no. We're keeping our ears to the ground in case there's any leaks on City or Liverpool or anything else that could help us. Arsenal got the early kickoff, but I don't suppose we'll get anything on Arsenal. But I am constantly refreshing in case we get anything. Got a few places to check, but yeah, nothing at the moment. Right, keep your questions coming. Thank you all for being here, by the way. Do hit like on the stream below if you're enjoying it. And don't forget to subscribe. Oh, what's this? Yeah, there's like a rumoured Newcastle, but I don't. They said I don't know if it's reliable, so. Any news on a Cherky start? No, nothing on City at the moment. Trust me, I'm checking more than anyone because I'm on a free hit. I'm checking trust me, I'm checking more than anyone because City news could be an advantage on a free hit. Why a free hit? I just felt like my team needed it. I had some bad fixtures, and maybe it's a chance to go against Arsenal defence, Palace defence, target Newcastle home to Burnley. Yeah, I mean, what I would recommend if anyone's looking to spend a transfer before the deadline, just wait if you can till a bit nearer, just in case there's anything that might change what you do. Like imagine like Pep benches Haaland or something, or I don't know, or doesn't start Foden, something like that. But we might get nothing. I wouldn't be surprised. But it's just you never know. LES says best chip strategy with a free hit and the bench boost. So free hit, it depends on honestly how you look in future weeks. If you use a website like planfpl.com or fpl.team, you can check how your team looks in future weeks, and then decide when you potentially gain the most on the free hit. Bench boost again, like maybe next week when you got the 5 free transfers, you could just spend them and get ready for the bench boost, but it's hard to answer really without knowing your team. Matthias says, would you gamble and start Cherky over Mateta? Probably not. Probably wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts, but I don't know if I'd risk it. Connor says, would it be worth keeping Semenyo, especially since Ghana haven't qualified for AFCON, or just bin him because of poor form? I don't actually hate keeping him, and then you sell him after he's played Burnley home in 17. But it depends who you haven't got, because players like Saka, Foden, Bruno are better. So it just really boils down to that, and if you can get to those players. Zykel, thanks for becoming a member as well. Appreciate you. Thank you for that, mate. Yeah, so I'm not opposed to keeping Semenyo, and you just sell him after 17, after he's played Burnley home. That might be what Tom said he was going to do. He said it in the team selection video. He's like, because he was looking at Mateta to Gw and stack to Foden, and then keep Semenyo until 17. Bradley says start a Minte, Semenyo to Foden from -4 exact money. Yeah, I like that. Again, wait till near the deadline just in case, but yeah, I like that. Sar's got to go, and Semenyo to Foden's a massive upgrade. Bacta says I DM'd you the team on Twitter. I don't normally do DMs, I was saying earlier, but I can pull the DM up. Just because it's a bit messier to hop around in the background. It's easier just to put it in your message. Where did you send it? On Twitter? I don't seem to have it. I haven't got it. Yeah, I don't have it there. That's what I mean. I don't have it. It's not in my requests. DM'd you on Twitter. Most recent request is the one I did earlier, but I don't normally do the via the DMs. It's better to put it in your message, just in case something like that happens, and it's just quicker. Sorry, mate. What is your team? So it'll be Anderson, Livramento, Chow, Saka and Bumo, Gordon, Foden, Bruno, Haaland, Welbeck. D Lang says start one between Minte, Barnes or Bruno G. Bruno G, gotta be. Scored off the bench. He'll definitely start this one. Burnley home. Barnes, I don't think it's a guarantee to start, so I wouldn't go Barnes. I'd start Bruno G, and then Minte, and then Barnes in that order. What's the reasoning behind the Anderson pick? I can only afford 4 or 5, so it's him or Van Heck. But yeah, he probably, I mean, he probably will concede, but he's really good for Defcons. Fulham have been pretty good at home, other than that, to be fair. Last game it was a bit of a weird one, but other than that. Sorry, still battling the cold. Yeah, I am checking for leaks all the time, trust me. I'm going to lock my team in like 10 minutes, like near the deadline. Because I'm just kind of waiting in case there's anything that might affect how I line up on the free hit. But at the moment, there's nothing. Watkins on a free hit. Not against Arsenal. Surely not. 15 minutes to go. A reminder to make sure your bench is in the right order, guys. Captain sorted. Chris says, persuade me about Gordon. I'm not feeling it. I think he only makes sense either on a free hit, because I think he probably starts. He's on pens. And it's the worst team in the league he's facing. Or if you have nothing to spend your transfers on and you're in a similar situation in Gameweek 16, then you could just go there for 1 week and then get him back out. Thiago or Welbeck. As a free transfer, Thiago. On a free hit, Welbeck. Bench Thiago or Mateta to partner Haaland. I'd rather bench Mateta out of those two. Palmer and Cher in a free hit. Cher feels a little bit risky. I think there's a chance he does start. He said himself a few days ago, like he doesn't like not starting. Oh, my chat just crashed. Refresh that. How many hits have you taken this season? 47% none, 23% 1. 16% 3, 14% 2 plus. Alright, captain poll. Who do we go? Haaland, Foden and who? Voltamada, do we? I don't know if that's... Oh, I'll just leave it in. Message in chat if you go other. Clean sheet odds. Sure, here they are. So Newcastle top, then City, Brighton, Arsenal, Man United, Everton, Liverpool, Spurs. Projected goals, City top, then Newcastle, Brighton, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal. Munoz captain, wow. Let's do another refresh. I'll lock my team in about 5-2, I reckon. Just in case. O'Reilly on a free hit. It's just, for me, it's that slight risk. Like, he probably starts, but what if he doesn't? So I ended up just going Donnarumma. Sorry, chat's playing up here. Elio Fernandez says, 1 free transfer used, none left. Xhaka, Sessegnon, Semenyo, Saka, Sarr midfielders. Should I take a -4? If so, who for? All chips used. Well, if you have to play Sarr, then yeah, sell him for a hit for Minte. Depends who you've got instead. If you don't play him, in a nutshell. I'll get through these last few free hits and then we might have to just... Sorry, last few super chats, and then I think we're going to have to pause them just because I want to keep an eye out for leaks for you guys. And myself, to be fair, as well, on the free hit. Yeah, it depends who you play instead, Elio. Sarta Minte is nice. I would consider that if I were you. Blue says, hey Oscar, if you can't afford Foden on a free hit and a little bit afraid he's going to be benched, who's a good replacement? There must be some way you can free up the money. If you're on a free hit. On the free hit you can do whatever you want. But replacements, I don't know, the other ones here, Mbumo, Bruno, Gordon, Saka. Oh, I guess Saka costs more, and Bruno does, so. Mbumo, Minte. Elias says, Ride Dubravka, Van Dijk, Mukiele, Guehi, Semenyo, Xhaka, Saka, Minte, Haaland, Welbeck, Thiago. 2 transfers, what would you do? 0.3 mil. I'll probably do Senesi to Anderson. Not sure about the second transfer. Can you afford Semenyo to Foden if you went Senesi to Anderson? I think you can. Or if not, then... yeah, see if you can afford that. Senesi to a cheap defender like Anderson, Van Heck, and then Semenyo to Foden. Use the 2 moves. Baker says, Ride Dubravka, Munoz, Virgil, 0.1 mil, 1 free transfer. I can't see where to use one here. Your team is already fine. You could do Semenyo to Minte. There's really not many options. That's all I can see here. Or Mateta to Voltemada for 1 week and then maybe sell Voltemada. Yeah, one of those 2. Mark says about Liverpool leaks. Yeah, sorry, been out. Thanks for great content, Oscar. Everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe. From Mark. No Liverpool leaks. I'll keep checking. Just want to make sure I don't leave the super chats unanswered. There's a couple more. Random guy says 1 free transfer. My team is pretty template. Bringing Foden, Welbeck, Voltemada, Gordon, and Mbumo for the United double up or someone else. I'm tempted by Palmer. I'd bring in Foden, yeah. I wouldn't bring in Mbumo. If you're on a free hit, he's fine, but wouldn't bring him in otherwise. 2 more games from Mbumo, and then he goes to AFCON. Yeah, bring in Foden. I have to see on Palmer. I don't want to go there yet, and he's quite expensive. Amy says, free hit active. I'm going Eze, Voltemada, Bar, Mukiele, Fkadioglu, Sar, Gordon, Planetway 3-4-3. What are your thoughts? Yeah, looks good. Gu on the bench. So my lineup will be Donnarumma, Anderson, Livramento, Chow, Saka, Mbumo, Gordon, Foden, Bruno, Haaland, Welbeck. And I'll confirm that in a couple of minutes' time. I'm just doing final checks for leaks and stuff, so I think we'll have to stop there on Super Chats because I might miss it. Sorry for all the unanswered questions. I know every week, there's so many I don't answer, and I'm really sorry about that. I wish I could answer every one. I just also have to try and check around in the last 10 minutes for leaks and stuff. I don't think we'll get something, but just in case. Yeah, nothing at the moment. Hincapié or Ben White on a free hit. If you want to go Arsenal defence, then it depends on Saliba though. White's a little bit risky, but I think White probably does start in right back, so I'd say White. Basically, it's whether Saliba's back, because it could be Hincapié, Saliba centre back, Timber right back, or Saliba might still be out, and then it'd be White right back, so then White. But yeah, I like those moves, Amy. I did see the super chat. I don't know if you heard me, but it looks good. My team's similar, so I would say that. But yeah, looks good. Right. Declan Rice and Trossard have both arrived with the Arsenal squad at Villa Park. No sign of Saliba. So there you go. Right, I'm going to confirm these transfers in a second. Yeah, nothing on Liverpool either. Saliba not spotted. So yeah, I'd say White to answer your question, Jack. Game's down. Mate, don't say that. I did read it, Amy. I don't know if you heard me. I did answer yours. Do you mean someone else? I need to confirm my team here. Hang on. So those are the last moves. Confirm. There's a pop-up about AFCON as well. So that is it. That's the free hit active. And that is my team. Quickly post it. Right, published. Right, sorry, I'm really sorry about the unanswered questions. Amy, I don't know if you can hear me. Free, are you saying your question? Free is active, and you're going Eze Voltamada, Bar Mukiele for Kadioglu, Saka, Gu, Gordon. Plan to pay 3-4-3. I was saying, yeah, I like that. That looks good. Yeah, I mean, this is how I'm lined up. And it's basically the same players you just said there. Whoa, 10 gifted memberships from HRH. Thank you so much, mate. Wow. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, go for it, Amy. Thank you so much, HRH. Appreciate you. Yeah, it doesn't look like we'll get news. Or leaks. We did hear Rice was spotted with the Arsenal squad. Saliba wasn't. So yeah, my free hit is active, and that is the team I've landed on. Get some Lemsip. Oh, honestly, we've got a week till the next deadline stream after this one. I'm good. I'll be alright. Free hit next week. Yeah, 16 looks great as well for the free hit. HRH, thank you again. Are you winding me up, Amy? What do you mean free super chat miss? Amy Pans. I don't know if you're winding me up. Why Anderson over Van Heck? Honestly, it's 50-50 those two. I just thought Fulham have been decent in home games. Anderson's better for DEFCON. Palace went at full strength midweek, so that's how I ended up. But yeah, it could go either way. Brighton have got the slightly better clean sheet odds, but I really like Anderson. And it's Haaland captain. So that's it. We made it. Yeah, nothing on Liverpool. Apologies. Didn't get anything on City this week either. And that is the deadline. Honestly, I spent so much time working out how to line up with this bloody free hit, and it's probably not going to do that well anyway. But thank you all for tuning into this deadline stream. Good luck this game week. If you've got your free hit active, I hope you smash it. Or if you don't have a chip active, I hope you smash it as well. We're going to wrap this stream up there. So thank you for tuning in. Oh, before I forget, we're giving away free premium for the Focal app. Last giveaway of the season, and this month is your last chance to get it. There's a link below to get it. So if you want to take advantage of the free premium, there's a link below for that. And that's for the Focal app and fpl.page. And it's the last giveaway of the season, so take advantage. You get loads and loads of perks for that. And you can cancel if you don't want to use it. That's fine as well. So we'll wrap up there. Free hit is active. Good luck this game week. And that is it from me. Focal out.